It looks like the media are really doing a number on former greengrocer Gregg Wallace, so Blinkerhole decided to take a closer look at the MasterChef's colourful life prior to the investigation he faces over comments he allegedly made towards a female colleague at the BBC, and we found some surprising things. Gregg Wallace once brawled with a man at a hotel in Worcestershire and punched him in the face for allegedly groping his girlfriend. Other oddities include the revelation that his gym opens up early so he can enjoy a swim and sauna by himself. More on that later. Meanwhile, amid the furore, Gregg Wallace has whisked his wife Anna off on holiday and has seemingly fled the country to get away from the controversy. Gregg took to social media to tell his followers, "No 7 a.m. live. I am away with Anna." He then shared a snap of the couple on the plane, writing, "Anna being nosy. Kiss kiss." He and fourth wife Anna tied the knot in 2016 and are parents to son Sid, aged 4. In an interview, MasterChef star Gregg Wallace once said he felt like he'd won the lottery when he fell in love with his wife, but he's not always been so lucky in marriage. Gregg was also married to Heidi Brown between 2011 and 2012, which he later dubbed a huge mistake. Since getting married a fourth time, Gregg says Anna has changed his life for the better and helped him to lose 5 stone. Appearing on Good Morning Britain in January, he explained, "That young woman has revolutionized my life. There's a 22-year age gap. We have been together 10 years and have a son, Sid, and I want to be there for them." The star has spoken candidly about his romance over the years and gave an insight into how he met Anna on Twitter. She asked him if rhubarb really went well with duck after seeing him try a recipe on a cooking show. He previously told Hello magazine, "I just looked at Anna's photo and thought, wow, she's pretty. So yes, rhubarb, which was considered an aphrodisiac in medieval times, brought us together." Gregg once shared more about their love story on ITV's Lorraine, revealing he sent Anna a message on Twitter and they began messaging. "Then I sent her my phone number. This was 5 years ago," he confessed. However, Anna wasn't certain that he was the real deal until they met up for the first time in person. Gregg said, "She came down to London to have dinner with me, and she said it wasn't until we got to the restaurant that she was comfortable. It was really me and not an imposter." The pair tied the knot at Hever Castle in August 2016 after 3 years of dating, and said "I do" in front of guests, including this morning's chef and fellow MasterChef host John Torode, who was Gregg's best man, Marcus Waring, Monica Galetti, and interestingly also in attendance was John Torode's wife Lisa Faulkner, who recently spoke of Gregg's rude jokes while filming MasterChef. Speaking to Kate Thornton about love on the White Wine Question Time podcast, Gregg Wallace said, "What has love taught me? That it is an absolute game of chance, and that is it. It is a complete and utter lottery. I am very fortunate I got the winning ticket. I won the Euro Millions the day that young lady walked into my life." During the episode, Gregg also opened up about his 3 previous marriages, sharing how he also met another of his wives on Twitter. He explained that meeting people in real life at a bar was difficult, given his fame. "It is because I am on television. I can't walk into bars," he said. "You can't chat anyone up at work because the HR department would sack you. What I like about Twitter is that it is not a dating site. You can just have friendly chats with people." Despite this being his 4th time down the aisle, Gregg was keen for everyone to know he was serious about his relationship and wasn't rushing into another marriage. He told Hello magazine, "Meeting Anna has brought me what I think I've always been searching for, that big, warm family dynamic, and there's real strength in that. I'm very conscious of people thinking I just do this willy-nilly. But we haven't rushed into this. We've been together for 3 years and I truly have never met anyone like Anna." The presenter went on to share how she was his dream girl and is beautiful inside and out. Since getting married, the couple have also spoken about their 22-year age gap, with Gregg making jokes about it from time to time, especially after the birth of their son, Sid, in May 2019. Speaking on Loose Women, panelist Judy Love asked him what it was like to be an older dad, and Gregg replied that he was happy that Anna has someone close to her age to keep her company. He joked, "Baby Sid. You haven't met Mrs. Wallace, but I was really pleased she had a baby because it's someone at home more her own age to talk to." Wow. Recently attention has been drawn to Gregg Wallace's joking behavior on MasterChef. with reports suggesting that innuendo-filled commentary has remained an integral part of the MasterChef brand for 2 decades. Outlandish outbursts have littered the critique from Gregg Wallace and his co-judge John Torode over the past 20 series, with many of the clips now being unearthed in light of the new allegations this week, which Gregg denies. One memorable quip occurred during a 2016 episode of MasterChef The Professionals, which saw Wallace tell one contestant, "It's just missing that sauce that is going to bring the whole thing together. I'm desperate to dip that pork into something wet." John Torode, who recently spoke of his little sausage to Kat Deely on This Morning, meanwhile made his own quip in 2012 on MasterChef, when he asked a female contestant if she considered herself to be a conservative cook or an experimental cook. "I'm experimental at home with my husband," replied the contestant, to which a laughing Torode told her, "I'm not asking what you do at home." Then, in 2015, whilst tasting a female contestant's dessert, Wallace declared, "I want to take my shirt off and dive in." Gregg Wallace's comments haven't been limited to the main series. A 2011 episode of Celebrity MasterChef saw the judge tell actress Margie Clark, "In here needs to be a bit wetter. It's like a diamond ring in a carrier bag." Then in 2023, viewers were shocked by another Wallace innuendo as he sent a contestant packing. The judges were left underwhelmed by her starter and said that her main dish didn't quite work. But it was Gregg's innuendo that left fans at home in stitches. When reflecting on the starter, he simply said, "I found those balls really quite salty." John Torode's wife Lisa Faulkner recently spoke out on the MasterChef jokes, admitting that during her time on the show she would think, "I don't want to hear this," as Wallace delivered punchlines to crew members. But this isn't the first media storm Gregg Wallace has found himself in the center of. In 2013, it was reported that Wallace brawled with a man at a hotel in Worcestershire and punched him in the face for allegedly groping his girlfriend. The former greengrocer and rugby player was pictured battling with the man after he appeared at a £75 a head evening with him at the Wood Norton Hotel near Evesham. Wallace allegedly hit the man several times after he apparently pinched his then 27-year-old girlfriend Anne-Marie's bottom. A picture, which was published by The Sun at the time, showed the TV star grappling with the man while another man tried to restrain him. The photo shows Gregg launching himself at Paul Bates after the Married magazine boss allegedly became disrespectful during the Dinner with Gregg Wallace event. Gregg allegedly stepped in to defend his girlfriend's honor at the posh hotel bash, sending glasses flying, and left Mr. Bates sprawled over a table. But Gregg insisted that he only did what any bloke would do to defend his girlfriend. Mr. Bates, however, insisted he did nothing to provoke the attack, but Gregg claimed, "This guy touched Anne-Marie's bum and made some inappropriate comments. I'm not the sort of bloke who lets something like that go. It's completely disrespectful. What guy can say they would stand for that happening to their girlfriend?" Mr. Bates, who is publisher of magazine Cotswold Style, said the attack came out of the blue as he was chatting to Anne-Marie, although he said Gregg later apologized. West Mercia police said that the incident had not been reported to them, but they were making inquiries to establish exactly what had happened. At the time, Gregg was also expected to receive a dressing down from BBC bosses over his behaviour. Apparently, the men patched things up by the end of the night, and a spokesperson for Gregg Wallace said, "I can confirm Gregg was involved in a disagreement at an event last night. The situation was swiftly resolved." Gregg Wallace also caused a stir when he revealed his Saturday regime in a column for The Telegraph. The piece quickly went viral as he gave readers a glimpse into his life with wife Anne-Marie and their son, Sid. He revealed his gym opened early so he could enjoy a, quote, "swim and sauna by myself," before he met his PA at his local Harvester for breakfast. Wallace said he'd head back home for noon and his wife would have lunch ready on the table. Between 1:30 p.m. and 3 p.m., he said he'd spend time with his son, and they'd potter in the garden and play with their 2 dogs, before he spent, quote, 2 hours by myself in my home office playing Total War Sage, Thrones of Britannia. The TV star also revealed having another child wasn't something he would have chosen at his age, an admission that drew a lot of criticism. Gregg Wallace later hit back at what he deemed to be cruel and unfair backlash. In an emotional Instagram Live, he clarified, "There are just 2 things I want to address here with Sid. People said, 'So you spend an hour and a half with your son, but then spend 2 hours on your computer?' No, I'm with my son in the house all the time. I just didn't write down had a tickle with Sid, playing around the living room. You're not logging every minute of the day. I just logged the blocks. So, it didn't mean that's all I saw him that day. If you're living in a house with someone, you're interacting with them all the time. Not only that, that is a snapshot of one Saturday. I hope that makes sense to everybody. And the other thing as well, and I'm almost going to cry over this, people saying Sid was unwanted. It took us 2 years to conceive with Sid. 2 years. Today, as the investigation intensifies into MasterChef Judge Gregg Wallace's alleged comments towards a female colleague at the BBC, we wonder what the former greengrocer with what appears to be a colourful past will be facing when he and his wife return home from their holiday getaway. We dread to think. Like and subscribe for more journeys through the blinker hole. For entertainment purposes only.